You're listening to the Optimal Performance Podcast.
How's it going, everyone? It's Chris from Optimal Performance. Once again, Matt and Scuppers, who's already having a breakdown. So this is going to be episode 2. It's going to be a little bit more casual. It's a festive special. So the episode is going to be a full Q&A. We've had some really good responses through socials. So format of the podcast is going to be Matt asking us questions, and then we're also going to flip back to him to see what his responses are as well. So we're basically going to dive in at the deep end and go right into it. So as I say, full Q&A episode, festive special. The lads have got the beers ready, so we're gonna dive in at the deep end. Let's do it.
So first question on it is Messi or Ronaldo?
Let's bat that over to Scuppers first.
Do you know what? I had to think about this the other day. I'm not like, I know they're both like amazing players, but I'm not that into them. They don't turn me on.
No?
Nah, I just love Gerrard, me. Like, to be fair though, the best footy player I've ever seen live, Suarez, unreal.
Yeah.
At Anfield, and then Aguero as well. Like, I remember watching Liverpool play City at Anfield, and he's rapid. Aguero doesn't look that quick on telly, but. So
just for the record, you think Gerrard, Suarez, and Aguero are better than Ronaldo and Messi?
They just don't do it for me. I know that, don't get me wrong, I know that they're mega footballers and amazing and that, but they just don't do it for me. But my favourite player is Gerrard, so.
Yeah, but out of Messi or Ronaldo, who are you choosing?
It's a tough one, because Messi's like naturally talented, and then Ronaldo's like work ethic, so you can respect both. Yeah. But I'd have to go Messi. If it makes twisted me, I'd have to go Messi.
Yeah, same answer. Messi for me. Ronaldo is a freak athlete. Obviously unbelievably talented, and then maximised his talent with like the stuff that he does outside the pitch, so the gym, lives the lifestyle. To be honest, Messi probably lives the exact same lifestyle. People just don't give him that like sort of thing for it because he hasn't got the body and he's not seen that way. But if you're talking about an out footballer, it's Messi all day. For a footballer.
For skill base, it's always been Messi.
Yeah, football and ability, 100% Messi.
Ronaldo's game is more... It's high paced, so it doesn't suit an older man. Yeah. Basically, he's running out of time while he's running.
I'd fucking 2 foot in me.
That's and this is why the podcast is explicit. 2 minutes.
Yeah, but no, in all seriousness, Ronaldo. If you like sort of jot down like skill sets of a footballer and you go like right, aerial ability, shooting from distance, speed, all the technical aspects. I think if you look at Ronaldo, he's probably like in a way more rounded in a kind of strange way, like in terms of like the type of goals he scores, all the rest of it. But as I say, out and out football ability, Messi's magical, isn't he? I think he pips him all day long. Yeah.
So here we go. We've had it. Optimal.
Yeah. Or Gerrard.
Or Gerrard or Suarez.
Snap him.
Or Aguero.
Yeah. Don't agree with the Aguero one, like, but yeah, we all roll with it. He's better than
Aguero's a belter.
Yeah, he was a top player.
I've seen him live though.
Yeah, I have.
He's unreal.
He's a top player. Yeah, he was. Question 2.
Question 2. What makes optimal performance different? So.
Different. Well, I think what we touched on in the first episode is like fusing elements of 2 different skill sets together under one roof. So it's as we said on the first one, the idea is to fuse S&C or training, strength training, with sports rehabilitation. So regardless of where people start the journey, we'll be able to help them in some form. So in a very short answer, I'd say that's what makes us different, is I don't think anybody else, particularly in the city of Liverpool, I don't think anybody else does what we do in terms of fusing them elements together. So yeah, I'd say that in short, that's what makes us a little bit different to everybody else.
Yeah, it's really hard to find anyone, any company, any business that is doing what we're doing at the minute, and what we're striving to provide for everybody. Obviously, it's going to progress. It's going to get bigger. We're going to get premises eventually when that comes about. But it's getting to that point. Like, businesses don't just evolve from nothing. You have to work at it, and we're trying to change the way people think and approach fitness and recovery, and try and get them to think about one rather than 2 different entities.
Yeah, definitely. Everything matters, as we said on the first one.
Definitely, mate. The next question is a really good question, and I think it's something that people take for granted, that they are accurate and they literally like tell you exactly what you need to know. So are fitness watches accurate?
Let's go with scuffers again first.
Let's talk about them as a whole, and then we can go down into which ones we think are better or better for what sport.
So from what I've read, in terms of like heart rate and stuff like that, they're pretty okay, like pretty accurate. Calories burned and stuff like that, not so much. There's a big like standard deviation either way, so you have to take it with a pinch of salt. Lots of people, like, you see them on socials, don't you, posting, burns 1,000 calories, but have you though?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one of them. It's quite annoying, isn't it? Like, I know you're not a big fan of it either. Like, you see people posting about it and that, but there is some better watches out there, obviously, and there's a lot more research going into it now. But like, in terms of calories burned, like what most people use them for, you need to take it with a pinch of salt. And it's not something you should measure your workout by. It's not like you've not had a quality workout because you've burnt more calories or because your watch says you have. You know what I mean? That's not like a gold standard way of saying, oh, that's a great workout, or I've achieved what I needed to.
So we've all got smartwatches on now. So Nathan, what do you use your smartwatch for, and how do you use it, which is the most accurate way of using it?
So I use mine just for my heart rate, really, and tracking my sleep. So, well, not even tracking my sleep, just tracking my heart rate while I'm asleep. So I know if I've had a decent night's sleep, because my resting heart rate's on about 43. But like tonight I've had a couple of bevies. Tomorrow my resting heart is like 50, 55, which is still low, but for me that's high. So now it's like that's how we can like track sort of what kind of sleep I've had. And then I just use it for running. Like, I run a lot, so I just use it for like heart rate zones and working off like how hard I'm actually working. But like, when I post that my runs, like, my calories are on there as well, but like, I'm not interested in that. That just comes with it when you post. I'm not interested in that. All I'm interested in is my distance, my splits, and my heart rate. That's it.
Well, that's it. People look at it and go, look at the smartwatches, and look at the calories burnt and go, that's how hard I've worked. Whereas obviously you're flipping it and going, actually, that's not really that accurate. So we'll look at the heart rate, because that is quite accurate, and that's quite the same across all of the smartwatches. Doesn't matter which one you buy, really, the heart rate pretty much is really accurate. So it doesn't matter whether you're buying a £1,000 smartwatch or £100 smartwatch. They're all pretty much the same, so you can use them for the same training aspects. Whereas your calories, you buy one for £100 and that might be more accurate than your £1,000.
That's it. But I think if you're looking for an out-and-out fitness watch, Garmin's the best way to go. But they've improved, like, they're military-grade Garmin's, like, you know what I mean? Special Forces use Garmin, so that shows you how good they are.
Yeah, that's it. I can see both of you have got Garmin's on at the minute.
Yeah.
I haven't quite worked my way over to it. I'm still on the Apple Watch.
The Apple Watches are great. They look great. Functionality, obviously, like the iOS stuff is great, but like, I used to have one myself and switched it for
flapping
the Garmin.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that the original question, like, are they accurate? Like, they're as accurate as you use them. So like, the data that you see on your activity tracker or watch is accurate to you. The actual science side of it is that they're actually not as accurate as people think, and as Nathan's saying, like, a barometer of a good workout isn't like how many calories you've burnt, but I think it comes into that deficit culture that everyone's on, like, oh, calories in versus calories out, and they just think if I burn 1,000 calories a day, I'm winning. But as we all know, training and life goes a little bit deeper than just telling everyone you need to be in a deficit and let's see how many calories we can burn a day, which everybody kind of knows, but obviously people still spiel that message quite frequently, which I just massively disagree with, in terms of like, let's validate our workout by calories burnt is probably the worst thing you could do in terms of improving performance and health. Yeah,
of course, that's it. There's a lot of focus on calories in every single
It's the big buzzword now, and seeing in it, like, calorie deficit, how many calories have I burned in a workout? Like what we always say, fuel performance. So like, you see us eating like high calorie meals, but
go on, say it.
But we train harder than most people. Like, I eat more. Like, that's one area of my training that I need to improve on the most. Is me, but like, because my training volume's that high and my output's that high, I can kind of get away with it a little bit. But yeah,
that's why it
really annoys me, that sort of like that culture that like, oh, calorie deficit, calories burn for your watch. Like, It's just like, there's so much more to training and health than just like scale weight. It's just like, some people like proper measure the self-esteem off scale weight, don't they? And it's like, there's so much more to performance and stuff. That's why, like, I always say to Chris, I'd never want to go down the route of being like a transformation coach. I want to be like a performance coach. I want you to be bigger, faster, stronger, fitter, healthier, not just look good. Because most people, they might look boss with the six-packs and all that. Six-pack doesn't equate performance. And most of them feel like shit anyway, because you're not supposed to be that lean all the time. Yeah. We know that through the science, like it ruins your body. So in that sense, like, I just think like the fitness industry's on its arse a little bit.
Yeah. With that, it's health and performance are two different things. So like if you look on that like health markers, you may look at nutritional choices and go, that's not good for you. But if you're out and out looking for performance in terms of like fueling your training, fueling running performance, trying to get strong, your nutrition will look different. And it comes back to that thing of like what your goals are. Health should be at the priority of everyone's list. But the two things are closely linked, even though like nutrition specific fueling will look very different for like health specific problems. If you've got a health problem or if you're looking to improve performance, nutrition might look massively different. But what you usually find is people who are top end performers are usually pretty healthy as well. So like it's the two closely linked, but they are different in terms of how you fuel nutrition specific workouts and that type of thing within that metric of health and performance, definitely.
Okay, the next question is the top 5 exercises for strength and hypertrophy. So I'll go over to Nathan with that one.
Yeah, I like to just keep it that simple. I just go for bang for your buck. So I would go a hip dominant exercise. I'll probably go an RDL, a knee dominant exercise, back squat. I'll probably go weighted pull up, weighted dips, and then a unilateral lower body exercise like a walking lunge or a split squat. And if you can, you only need 2 days a week, 2-3 days a week. If you can cycle them different variations of them exercises, you'll go a long way.
Yeah, it comes into what we said on the first podcast, doesn't it, in terms of like where Nathan touched on the point of like if you can choose 7 exercises and you know how to periodise it well. Yeah. If you're looking to get strong at specific times of the year, if you're looking to add tissue at specific times of the year, you can actually keep it really basic and the basics work. So top 5 exercises is a tough one. Like obviously the compounds are there. So like for out and out strength, the compounds are the compounds for a reason. So like if you look at your classic, your bench, your squat and your deadlift, you got upper body push with the bench, knee dominant with the squat, and then obviously kind of hingy / pull dominance with the deadlift based on however people do it sort of thing. But for strength, the compounds are the winner, obviously. I think people think like, I've seen like people programming deadlifts in hypertrophy blocks and stuff, and the actual truth of the matter is you don't actually build that much tissue doing a heavy deadlift. But obviously people program it in, and it's all got its place. If you're getting people moving, that's a win. But hypertrophy and strength, in an ideal world, you would cycle through different phases of that throughout the year, so you actually earn the right to shift more load in a hypertrophy phase by accumulating strength first. So top 5 exercises is a really different one because you want to utilise a little bit more in your arsenal from a programming perspective as a coach. But as Nathan touched on in the first episode, like if you can pick 7 exercises or not even a magic number of 7, if you can pick 4 exercises and you understand how to program and periodise them well, you can make massive gains with your training across a long period of time. So yeah,
I think it comes down to like movement patterns rather than exercises. Yeah. So like we know for hip dominant, you can do a deadlift maybe in your strength block, and then when it comes to hypertrophy, you might be doing an RDL or an SLDL, and then the same for your bench press. You might change your barbell bench press to a dumbbell or an incline press or something like that. But for me, like I always go for bang for your buck. So like weighted dips, weighted calisthenics in general are just great for building muscle and strength.
Yeah, definitely, and that's it, isn't it? It's all about how you program it in. If you program it in right,
you know.
As you said, 5 exercises could do you well. They'll only get you so far.
Be fucking boring though.
Yeah, it'll be very boring and trying to.
That's a big one for like obviously if you're a coach and you're getting buy-in from people, you've got to have buy-in. So like if you're selling somebody 5 exercises and it's the same 5 exercises forever, you're gonna lose people massively. So like you've got to keep it interesting And again, as we touched on the first episode, is making people understand why they're doing the thing that they're doing at that given time. So it's a really good question. It's a tough question as well, because I don't think there's an exact answer.
But what would your 5 exercises be, though?
5.
Someone puts a gun to your head.
For strength, I'd go an overhead press, bench press, so your vertical and horizontal push, deadlift, squat, potentially a pendlay for strength.
Yeah, I do like
pendlay. Yeah, so potentially that for strength. For
hypertrophy. You can mess around with tempo as well with a pendlay to stimulate high pace for your strength. So
yeah, I'd have to go with them 5 for an out and out strength block. They'd be me go-to 5. Yeah.
Nice. So on the back of you saying about people buying into things and understanding things and basically like having interest in it, the next question is your biggest fitness myth. So we'll go to Chris for that first, and then we'll come.
It's a tough one. There's a lot.
There's a lot of myths. There's a lot of wrong information.
I think the biggest one from like a nutrition perspective is, and people still say it now, is like, oh, like don't eat carbs, they make you fat, or like don't eat after 6 p.m. because you'll get.
What? Downstairs,
yeah.
With his gnocchi.
yeah, with the gnocchi, yeah. But he carved up, to be fair though, and then he was talking about health, as we were saying, or performance. He's performing now though, so yeah. But it's the biggest fitness myth is tough because there's hundreds. But the one that sprung to mind when you asked me was like the don't eat carbs late, or like don't eat after 6 p.m. That's probably one of the biggest ones. People's lifestyles are different, so if you work shifts and you're looking after people who are ill and you need fuel on board to stay like switched on in the mind, but someone or your PT's told you can't eat after 6 p.m. but you're there at 4 in the morning looking after somebody, like, but this happens in terms of the fitness industry, is people talking absolutes, and there's no definite absolutes usually in terms of like people just spieling that message, which we also touched on in the first podcast. Is like there's got to be lenience because everybody's lifestyle is different and everybody's needs are different. So that'd be my biggest one. Yeah, that's what sprung to mind basically when you asked me. Yeah.
To be fair, yeah, you've touched on it. Like mine's more of a generalisation of it. Is what you've just said is basically selling absolutes. Any of them, doesn't matter which one it is. Any of the absolutes. You can't do it for every single person. As we touched on with the fasting, I said I do the 12 till 8. I don't do it when I'm training in the first thing in the morning at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Well, if I go for the run at 6 o'clock, that is.
Turns up, that isn't it?
Shit back.
But yeah, if I'm doing that, I don't wait till 12 o'clock to eat.
Yeah.
And that's me doing it because I understand that I can't just do that daily. I can do it. I can do the 12 till 8, but when I'm doing things that have altered my daily routine, I'm not. I come away from it.
Yeah, that's it. You're adaptable, and you use it as a tool when you can, and when you need to come away from it, you can. So as I say, it's not an absolute, but it's something that you use, that's the way to use the tool, isn't it? When it suits your lifestyle, as we've just said. Yeah, definitely.
So go on, Nathan. What's yours? I think you'll have a lot, but let's get your biggest
one.
My
biggest pet peeve is, but someone's asked the question, what is the fat burning zone? So I'll go into more detail when that question comes around, but that's my biggest. Like, I'm sick of, like, you see all these.
If you want to do it, we'll do it all as one now.
Yeah, so you see these fitness influencers, and they're like, you want to lose fat, you've got to do that. I think it's called something like 30, 15, 2 or something like that, where you walk for 30 minutes on a treadmill and incline 15 for something like that. And it's like, this is the fat burning zone. And I'm like, is it though? Just because, so like, all it is like, your body is using at a certain percentage of your VO2 max. I think it's around about 50 to 60%. Your body utilises fat for energy to create energy so you can keep exercising. But most of that fat is intramuscular. So it's just energy that your body's stored in skeletal muscle. So you're not actually burning like adipose tissue, like subcutaneous fat. So people think, I've burnt 1,000 calories there, so I've burnt 1,000 calories of fat. So like, I can go home and eat 1,000 calories. It doesn't work like that, you know what I mean? Like,
I've earned it back. Yeah.
It just doesn't work like that, and that's my like biggest pet peeve. And people are like, you need to be, if you want to lose fat, you need to be in the fat burning zone. But we know it's energy, isn't it? Energy in versus energy out. So it doesn't matter if my energy output's up here, but I'm still eating the same amount. You're just gonna maintain, no matter how much fat burning cardio I'm doing. It doesn't work like that.
Well, that's it. It touches on the post that you done the other day as well about the guy on the treadmill.
That was the post.
That's the post that you're talking about. So my biggest thing on that was, why does he think that you can target which area you're reducing
you can't
fat?
spot reduce fat.
Fat, like when you reduce fat, and you can do it through training and stuff, like, obviously, but when you're doing it, you can't choose where it's going from. You can't just say to your body, oh, I want it from my legs, I want it from my arse, I want it from my stomach, my
So
arms,
you get them
my
people
neck.
doing sit-ups because they think they're going to lose like abdominal fat.
Yeah, you're just going to lose fat in general, and as you said, it's not always going to be the fat on the outside of your muscles. It can be intramuscular, it can be around your organs.
Majority of the
stuff
fat
like
that you use, like the fat burning zone, is intramuscular because that's what it's there for, to produce energy for the muscles to keep working. But there is some research around like high intensity interval training burning visceral fat, which is like the dangerous fat around your organs. So there is a bit more evidence for that. But in terms of like weight loss and body composition, if you're not, it's more down to diet really rather than fat burning zone.
So that's the biggest thing, isn't it? The fat around your organs and stuff like that. People don't really think about that as it being an issue because nobody measures it. Nobody goes and gets measured for that, which is really hard because you've got to have an ultrasound.
It's like gold standard
scales.
stuff like DEXA scans and stuff like that.
Yeah, so basically you're never really going to test that, but that's the key. The key to healthy and being optimal is by having healthy organs, right? Basically, isn't it? But yeah, it's
like I was saying before, a six-pack doesn't equate health or performance by any means.
A myth-busting question's another a full podcast on its own.
Yeah,
because there's that
so
many.
yeah.
You could go round the bend with it, definitely. Yeah.
So
I pull my hair out on social media sometimes watching people's videos. I'm like,
Do
oh
you?
my god.
You haven't got much
Can't
left
tell.
either, to be
That's
fair.
why I'm on board.
I haven't myself,
I
to be
must be
fair.
the
My
only one
hairline's
that's
gone.
chill.
But,
So the next one is, what's your favourite festive drink?
Gotta be Baileys for me, lad.
Baileys. Just straight Baileys,
Baileys
ice
on the
spot-
ice.
on the ice.
oh, nice. Yeah, I do like a Baileys hot chocolate. But me go-to drink at Christmas is usually a Disaronno and Coke. Just cruises down.
Yeah, it's
It's a
smooth
fancy drink, that, though.
isn't it? It is, yeah.
It is,
It's
isn't
very,
it?
very low alcohol. Like.
Yeah. But it's good because
That's what single Mars drink it.
I can't. To be fair, I'm a lightweight on the booze. I can't even handle it anymore. It just cripples me. So like,
to be fair, but
so I don't even like Coke either, by the way. But with the Disaronno, it actually cruises down. So yeah, it's a pretty.
they are nice,
That's my
Disaronno,
go-to drink. Like Christmas Eve, little wine, Disaronno and Coke. Standard Tory board. It goes off, doesn't it? It does
See,
go
that's
off.
it. Like,
we know what happens
mine's
next.
a wine, red wine,
Yeah,
or tequila.
yeah.
I know that's a mad one.
Tequila.
Do you know what's half heavy though? Port. If you have a little cheese, but
Yeah. No,
I
I
prefer
haven't had
wine,
both.
no. Prefer red wine. I don't know why. I
Port's
think
nice, you know.
port's too sweet for me.
It's your fucking rotten port.
Yeah.
Bad. You have to be careful.
Throw
with
one
that
up
stuff.
Crimbo morning.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's heavy.
standard.
Right, so pulling your hair out pulls us on to the next one. Chris knows what's going on. So when
Hello.
is Chris planning turkey for a hairline?
No, I'm definitely
week,
going. I'm
hopefully.
definitely going. Yeah.
It's overdue.
It needs to be next week in an
Bucket ticket
ideal
for two,
way.
lad.
Well, but yeah. What I can say to the question is, I'm definitely going. I just don't know when. What I was hoping to do is hang out to the point where you don't have to fully shave your head off, and this is genuine. So like, I'm open by 5-10 years time. You can just not shave your whole head off, and you can still do it. As I say, the actual, I don't want to sacrifice no hair because I have got hair. My hairline's just terrible. So
So you don't have to give
When?
yourself a skinhead and you go to the airport.
that's it. Yeah, exactly that. So when, I don't know, but it is coming and it will happen at some point because it's an upgrade. What's definitely needed.
There's no shame in it.
I'm only about 3
I roll with it. Everyone knows.
Not all of us can be blessed with
That's
a
it,
good full head of hair.
Oh, it's I'm showing off now. I'd have ordered it.
That's a low blow, that.
While I'm vulnerable on the booze and he's just digging in.
He
deep.
started crying there. Getting that emotional.
Any
That.
tissues in it?
That's for later. That's when I leave you to know it again. So right, back to training. Best training splits.
Ooh. Short answer, the one you can stick to.
Perfect.
Yeah,
What he said.
Perfect.
the one you
Yeah,
can
so
stick
the one
to.
that you can stick to.
Yeah, is the
Don't
best.
mess around with it too much. Don't
Keep
don't
it
lose
simple.
interest.
Yeah, keep it simple. If you can cycle it and crack on with it for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and it's repeatable, that's the best split for you.
Nice.
100%.
Nice and easy.
But 3-day full body split.
But a side note, this
This is the best one. The new hybrid plan.
coming soon.
Right, so this one's quite limited, but I think we'll go into a little bit more. So the top 3 supplements, just as a general.
Supplements, well, this comes back to the health versus performance thing, so I'd always lean towards the health. So personal ones I would recommend is definitely like omega-3 or krill oil. It's an essential fatty acid, so your body needs it. Most people on the planet are low in it. And the truth is with supplements is you can eat the levels in if your nutrition's on point, but nobody's nutrition's on point to that level, or not many people's are anyway. So from a health standpoint, I'd go with omega-3, fish oil or krill oil. Loads of people like an old school stuff. People that use like cod liver and that type of thing, but like it's not that oily of a fish. So like omega-3 and krill are going to be like an upgrade of that. And as I say, it's an essential fatty acid. So like for hormone regulation and that, all the other boring stuff, I'd go with that. I'd go with vitamin D3 for anybody who lives in this country. That's a massive one in terms of just exposure. There's limited exposure to sun, as we all know. And I go magnesium. They're the 3 like sort of gold standard ones that I recommend to everybody. The reason why is from a health standpoint. As I said on the first podcast, a lot of people I help are like sort of in pain and they've got like chronic inflammation. So you're trying to find percentages to make them things better. And when you look at the other percentages in terms of supplementation, hydration, improve movement quality, and essentially pull physical, chemical and emotional stress down in the body, people start to improve. So they would be my 3. Maybe we can touch into Nathan and go to like performance-based ones. But from a health standpoint, if someone just says top 3, I'd always think about health first, and they'd be the 3 go-tos that I would recommend. Yeah.
So touching on that, like, because I would also go to the health aspect. So just before we get to performance, the magnesium, brilliant. Take it myself, but my go-to for that sort of help with your nutrition and your supplements would be collagen.
Yeah.
So marine collagen's your most bioavailable.
Yeah.
It's something that you stop producing in your body naturally by the time you're in your late 20s. So basically what you'll get it from is from the ground, from good soils, which we don't have anymore because of farming.
Yeah.
Which we should all know about, and we will all know about in the very near future. But then it's like you're getting it from carcasses, which when do you ever have a bone broth anymore? It's not a done thing anymore. Like you get your carcass of the chicken and you throw it away. You get the carcass of your fish, you throw it away. You don't then make a broth out of it and then drink that broth. So we're not actually supplementing it within our diets. We're getting a very, very small amount within our foods. So I think that, me personally, I think the collagen's a big one, because that is a lot to do with your connective tissue, your joints, stuff like even down to hair and skin, stuff like that does actually really boost it. Vitamin D, definitely. I do my bloods periodically, and I found that my vitamin D was low, which was causing me testosterone to be low. So supplemented the vitamin D, got me vitamin D levels up, and me testosterone went to a very healthy level of testosterone.
Yeah, natural. So no need for any touch the testosterone at all.
I know I was good for that, isn't it?
Who told you?
But so vitamin D, massive, and then vitamin C is an underrated one. It's
iron's a big one now as well, isn't it?
Yeah, well, they're all massive because most people are deficient. So like when I used to work in chiropractic care, we used to run blood panel testing, like what Matty's saying there, periodically. And it was like an additional service, but if people wanted it who were like chronically inflamed, like years of pain, anyone who got the test basically was deficient in pretty much everything. So like if you can make them percentages better, as I've just touched on there, like the people's nutrition's terrible nowadays.
Get yourself a good multivitamin.
Yeah, that's the short. Yeah, just from, as I say, from a health standpoint, there we go to the collagen one's really interesting. It's not something I've ever considered supplementing, to be honest, but
it's quite big now,
I probably will after listening to that, to be honest. So it's a good one.
The problem with multivitamin is that you will not get enough of the stuff out of it. It's a lot of stuff coming into your body at once.
then you've got to think about the practicality of it though. I mean, you can't have like a tablet for every single vitamin.
Exactly.
I know what you're saying, like, but in that sense,
you can have a multivitamin to hit most of them, but anything that you need more of. So I would recommend anybody to go and get a blood test. Just pay for them. They're not that dear to go and get a basic blood test, and it'll test you for a lot of things. You might be deficient in.
It's definitely worth it, like, innit?
Yeah. Even down to like the vitamin B. That's massive because that's all to do with your brain. Now, if you become severely deficient in vitamin B6, I think it is, your brain cells start to break down. Now, brain cells can't regenerate.
I need some vitamin B6.
That's a big one for people who are stressed. Vitamin B levels will be on the floor. So when you're in a high state of like oxidative stress, or your job's got you like kind of around the bend, vitamin B be the one I would recommend in that position for people who are highly stressed as well. Yeah.
So in a performance aspect, what would be your top 3 supplements?
Creatine.
Yeah.
The most researched supplement on the market.
What type?
Monohydrate. Doesn't matter. Just the cheapest one. It's all the same thing. Creatine, monohydrate, a good whey protein, and probably caffeine.
I thought you were going to skip that. I was going to say caffeine's got to be up there, hasn't it?
Yes, again, they're the most researched. What do you call them? Compounds, or I don't know. What would you call
supplements?
Yeah, they're all supplements. Like coffee's a supplement when you think about it, really, isn't it?
And there's loads of positive effects through all 3 of them on performance. So, yeah, just nice and simple.
Yeah. As always.
Just to touch on, it's vitamin B12. That's the one that affects your brain cells.
It's a bit of impulse, mate.
Any more beers going there?
I'll go to the bar now.
I'll tell you got one.
This episode is sponsored by nobody.
Where's the opener?
Broke me on there.
Go on, Matt, do the honours there, sir. Book in.
Get him on the bed and see if he's tight.
Tight.
Tell him he's tight.
You're very tight.
The whole of
Your
that
IT bands are tight.
Touching on IT bands being tight, do you know how much force you need to apply through the IT band to actually lengthen it?
Yeah, and it's impossible by another human body.
Yeah.
So if a physio is telling you that you've got tight IT bands and they're blasting their elbows through it, move on.
I'm pretty sure the IT band's fascia, isn't it?
Well, it's
supposed to be tight, isn't it?
It's that complex of a thing. It's just
isn't it?
everything's everything, basically.
But it's supposed to be tight, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's the idea of it. People are trying to loosen it. It's supposed to be tight.
Yeah. You cannot lengthen
what the
IT
research
band
actually suggests is you need not far off a ton of weight to be pushed through the IT band to lengthen it.
Which is important.
About 4 tons.
Is it by 1%?
It's not far off.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's impossible to be achieved by another human being. Sticking their elbow through it is basically where we're going with that.
So it just hurts for no reason.
Yeah.
Unless you're into that sort of thing.
Don't get me wrong. Like you can run your elbows through them or your arms through them.
Keep that bit in.
That's staying in. Yeah.
It's not hard.
But it's normally your TFL, the muscle connected to it, or
it's everything.
Muscles connected to
it's everything.
Your hip flexors, everything, isn't it? Like that's where you can manipulate.
Yeah.
You can't manipulate the.
That's another myth there, isn't it? You've seen some physios saying that they can release your psoas and your psoas major, like going through your abdominals. That's deep, isn't it? Surely you can't do that.
In my opinion, it's percentages and it's very little. If that's the case, I actually don't know whether you can or you can't. What I'm doing is trying to improve function, and however I get somebody there, it's going to be a full rounded package where it's more about what the person does than what I do to them. That's what matters most in that question or that scenario of questions, definitely.
Yeah. So the next course that I'm looking at booking onto actually touches on that. That's like one part of it. And I think in that they talk about how you can manipulate the muscles surrounding it and nearby attachments to relieve. So it's not so much focusing on actually relieving that muscle. You just, as Chris said, doesn't matter how you get there. It's you could be focusing on a muscle that you can't get to, but if you can relieve all the muscles around it, then you're going to encourage that muscle that you can't reach relax and
everything comes along for the ride. Everything
That's
gets
it, yeah.
better. Yeah, but no, I'd have to. You can't release that much with human force, in my opinion. Yeah.
So, excuse me. So what's your thoughts on online coaching?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's great. It's a great tool. I think it's obviously a very open-ended question, but the scope to be able to reach more people, like when people's diaries don't match, when you've got the availability to help more people, but you may not be able to spread yourself thin enough in terms of like you can only work so many hours a day in person contact. It's brilliant. It's brilliant, but obviously from like a person within the industry, I think a lot of people think it's the easy ride, and online coaching's not like. I dip into it, and I do like sort of hybrid style coaching, which is like remote and in person. Basically, I have my own app, and everybody I coach in person has access to the app. And then I have people who are just on the app. I have people who do a little bit of both. I think like within the industry, everybody just thinks that like, right, the top of the ladder is you're an online coach and I do 2 hours work a day, but like the top online coaches are just as busy, if not busier, than people who spend 30 hours a week on the gym floor. But they may have a bit more flexibility. But online coaching is brilliant as a business or as a side hustle, or some people have like a really good income just off online coaching and don't touch any in-person coaching. Some people will do a bit of both. It comes down to what the people you're helping need and then what you give them within that quality. So there's some really top-end coaches who give pretty much everything: webinars, socials, technique analysis, access to apps, podcasts, good level programming, community where people all know each other. And then there's some
Funnily enough, there's a company called Optimal Performance that does all this, so
yeah, no, but
check them out.
No, and then there's other people who will sell like, right, it's £12 a month and it's a 21-day shred. People don't ask who you are, they don't know your name, they don't know you personally, they might not know whether you've made any progress, they don't ever touch base to ask if you've made any progress. So there's two big massive entities with it. There's low end stuff and then there's top end stuff. The top end stuff in terms of like what people are offering now is in my opinion brilliant. The low end stuff, it's about volume, but like how many people do you actually truly help? How many people do you build relationships with? The low end stuff, for me, it's minimal, isn't it? And I'm not about that. I'd rather be top end, help more people. And know people, get to know your clients, like ask them how they're doing.
Even if you are just like an online client, it's never just through the app sort of thing. Like it's still quite personal.
Yeah, well, the way we do it is like everybody's welcome to come to the socials. We're going to be launching technique seminars where everybody's welcome. So if you are a client of Optimal Performance, whether you come in for rehab, whether you come in to lay down on a table and just do recovery, whether you come in to just train, whether you do all three, or whether you're just an online client, you still have in-person contact, you're part of a community, you can see everybody working towards similar goals. So like it's not, I think online is evolving to everything. Is where I'm going with it. It's not just
coming full circle, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's like
it is.
Went from being
it comes
just
back around.
Personal training.
Yeah,
like you've got to be in person, you've got to do it there and then obviously you can only touch on 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
But now it's when the other way to online coaching is the only way that you can be coached.
Yeah.
You can almost offer more online.
Yeah,
though.
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So like you're saying about the seminars and stuff, like you can video them. Like we do like the research stuff, don't we? With that, like we'll do presentations and put them in the members area. So it's not just like you're getting a program and that's it. You go, fuck off, go and see.
Yeah, you just do it.
That's what we're doing,
as well as the contact with the coach.
But the industry was going towards just online coaching and just, as you said, just getting people doing a 21-day shred, and that they'll lose weight, but then
where'd you go?
Does that actually continue? Are they happy with the progress they've made? Are they happy in life, to be fair? Because that's what we do as coaches. We don't care just about their progress in the gym or in the rehab. We care about the person.
Yeah.
Because if the person's not happy, then they're not going to be training right. They're not going to be recovering right. So it's come full circle from just in person, just online, and now we're a company that is proven that you need more than that, and you need to become personal with it. As we said on the first podcast, it's all about being personalised treatment.
Personal training, if you want to go back to that level, it's got to be personal.
Yeah, it's
a lot of people lose that massively nowadays as well, where people are looking at numbers and how many people can I get on board and all this hitting targets. It's like the more people you take on, the more problems you take on, and then you lose touch with personal training. So it's a really good question. Online coaching out and out is brilliant, but it is coming full circle where it's not just online, I don't think, now, or the way we deliver it, and some of the coaches in the industry who are really good delivery. It's not just an online thing, it's an all-in thing where you get a lot more than just, right, it's this per month and you get a program. As Nathan's just saying, it's not just a program and nutrition and see you later, it's everything. So it's it's online coaching out and out is...
You don't even get that at some of them though. You don't even get that person going, right, this is what it is. You just literally go online. You look at the programs and you press buy.
Yeah.
You never actually touch base with that person.
Yeah.
You get what you pay for, don't you? So if you're only paying £10-12 a month, you only get £10-12 a month worth of quality.
Yeah.
So, why hasn't Chris been in the ice bath yet? I think that actually might be my question.
He's nailed me, hasn't he? It's true for the matter is, I'm a shithouse.
Well, I did notice
but
that.
I have plans. Nice one. I have plans to get in tomorrow. I'm going to test the metal.
So right.
So yeah, I've basically got a little small ice bath in the back garden. And I haven't used it yet, but I'm a busy man. So give me a break.
So this won't be going out tonight, just so you know. So it won't be tomorrow that Chris will be doing it. Chris will have already done it in preparation for this podcast. That's
pressure now, innit? So I've got to get in now.
Before this podcast, so I'm editing it. So I'm going to be working on this all day and night to get it out as quick as possible. So that Chris has to get in.
So I have to get in. Yeah. Before Christmas, let's go with that. It's pretty much Christmas now. We'll get in before Christmas.
This is a Christmas podcast, so it's gone out before Christmas. Yeah.
Before Christmas then. But the reason why is because I'm a shithouse. That was the question. Why haven't I?
Yeah,
I'm a shithouse.
Reason is there.
Yeah.
So what about Scuppers?
Shithouse.
Same.
Unapologetic shithouse.
Just a shithouse. I'll just go for a run instead.
Yeah.
It's still cold, innit? You know
go for a run and on your way home just pop it, and get him out.
To be fair though, it's probably colder on the road than it is in the water.
Yeah, brutal on the road.
It's -5 this morning.
Get in the water then.
Nah, I can't run on the water.
He's got to stand still. He struggles with that.
That's not happening, is it? Doesn't stand still, this guy.
I'll get in the summer.
I'll hold you to that, you know.
It's hot. I will when it's nice and hot.
No, the water will still be minus.
Oh, you can put ice in it or something.
Yeah.
That's a bit
like for an ice
bath.
though, isn't it?
I'll have a proper ice bath by then. Right. So, little light-hearted one here. Red or brown sauce on a bacon on?
Red all day for me. I'm not a fan of brown sauce.
Gotta be red on a bacon on.
Yeah.
I have brown on if I have like a brekkie. I have brown, but on a sausage on a bacon on, it's gotta be red.
Do you know what? This might spark the next question, but if it's a good bacon on, I don't want any sauce on it.
Yeah.
If it's good quality bacon, I don't want no sauce on it. I don't want to ruin it.
Controversial, isn't it?
But
the person who said that was Jimmy Savile.
I've got a cigar there.
Yeah, red all day.
Yeah, it's gotta be that. Heinz as well, though. None of that like that Jag stuff from Aldi.
Yeah.
Can't be putting that on a bacon.
High end gear.
Yeah.
Especially for Crimbo, you gotta pay a little bit more, haven't you? And get the you gotta pay the extra 30p, haven't you? Another Crimbo.
Right, so this we've pretty much already answered this. So what? But we'll go into it a little bit, so it's personal to each one of us. What supplements do you recommend and why? So Chris, just to change it up a little bit, go into performance supplements. So what performance supplements would you recommend now?
Yeah, well, I think I've already answered the question in a mad way in terms of what I would recommend. I think what I'll do is I'll say what I use. So like what I use from a health standpoint daily: vitamin D3, omega-3 and krill oil, magnesium. They're the 3 health ones that I have every single day. Yeah. I also use Jan's or Gut First Bactini. That's pretty much always in. From a gut health standpoint, if anybody's not on that, I would highly recommend. It's not a plug. I'd highly recommend you take it because it's massively beneficial. From a performance standpoint, as Nathan said, keep it really simple. I have creatine, whey protein. I used to have a lot of it. I don't really take that much whey now, but it's obviously massively convenient for people. So if you're like an office worker and you're squeezing sessions in before work and you need something on the go to stimulate recovery and obviously to have as a meal, whey protein's a massive one. And as Nathan said, like, I keep it simple. Like, pre-workout coffee or caffeine is the go-to for me. Like, so yeah, it's not like a recommendation, but basically what I use, because I think earlier on I've obviously recommended what I would tell most people on the planet to jump on board with from a supplementation standpoint. Yeah,
I think you'd say the same, wouldn't you? Yours is pretty much what you recommended before.
Yeah, so going off what Chris said, I take omegas, vitamin D3, multivitamin, creatine, whey protein when it's needed. I always go for it.
It's a good tool to use, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a tool, exactly. Just plug the gap every now and then. If you're struggling to hit your protein goal, for instance, like, you might chuck a shake in there or whatever, or if you're having oats for your breakfast, you might put some protein in just to get some extra protein in your diet, sort of thing. So it's just a tool again, and then an unhealthy amount of caffeine.
Yeah, way too many flat whites.
8 shots plus per day.
Yeah, terrible ones in Starbucks.
Just ruining myself with coffee. So don't do that.
Financially struck. $5 for a coffee.
£120 a month from spending on Starbucks.
Minimum.
It's ridiculous.
Minimum,
just to survive, lad.
Yeah, should we just stop doing what we're doing and just open a coffee shop just for you?
I'd love to. If I started all over again,
we got this conversation the other day though. After the gym, we went to Press Bros. Do you reckon Press Bros is better than the Crosby Coffee House?
No, I'm not having it.
I've got to admit,
it is, you know.
I think the coffee is nicer in Press Bros coffee.
I can't accept it. I do like both, but the vibe, Coffee House roast.
I get the Press Bros coffee for me house.
For the machine.
Well. Cappuccino and Press Bros hits different. It's so nice.
Yeah.
That was good, that one, wasn't it?
It was phenomenal, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like pure set.
It is good. It is good. I just like.
Was it that
Coffee
good just
House
because we just finished the session?
No, it was spot on, like.
Nah, you were vulnerable.
The quality of the coffee every time you go in there is the same as well.
Yeah, and you were vulnerable.
But I do like the cappuccinos and I like
chocolate flakes at different level.
You sink to the bottom and then you drink it at the end. It's just like chocolate.
Like a little shot at the end.
So yeah, the only thing that makes Press Bros not perfect for you is the little chocolate flakes.
Nah, I wouldn't say that's perfect. It's just like I do genuinely like the taste of coffee. So like I just think Press Bros coffee is really nice. Press
Bros coffee for the taste of coffee is the one for you.
But if you want to, like, you know, a little bougie one, and you want to be like a little
all in experience,
little girly one, you know, like, oh, it's that nice, that chocolate.
You said it.
Yeah.
Both nice though.
I'd definitely recommend Press Bros as well. Myself.
Still yet
if Press Bros want to sponsor the podcast, touch me.
Right, okay. So in supplements wise, for myself is exactly the same as these two guys, but I have me marine collagen as well. So I take that daily.
And it's trend.
Yeah.
He's got shoulders like that.
I'd hope I'd be a lot bigger if it was. Right, so the next question. One thing that has to be on a Christmas dinner. So the staple on a Christmas dinner.
It's got to be the roasties, isn't it?
Roasties.
Because like you can have veggies and vegans and all the rest of it, but like it's got to be roasties, isn't it? For me, it's got to be roasties.
We have at least 2 types of roasties on our Christmas dinner. It's the best.
He's going to say meat, isn't he? Because he's a big protein.
Yeah,
demon,
the carnivore, the liver king over here.
Yeah.
Nah, like it's not a proper. It's just not a roast, and if it doesn't have roasties, is it?
That's it. It's got to be.
And you can't beat, like, I could happily eat a bowl of Boss roasties with some gravy on.
Yeah, just on the own.
Just do that action again for us.
Or a butty. I'd put a roastie on a butty, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, it's roasties all day. Yeah. It's got to be proper roasties, next level.
Pigs in blankets.
I reckon they're overrated, you know. They've got to be cooked properly.
They are great, but like people go mad for them, don't they?
But the leftovers, if you have them in the morning on a butty.
Yeah, a little bit of cranberry sauce.
Do you know what hits different? Turkey butty. Yeah. The Boxing Day turkey butty.
Yeah.
Bit of piccalilli, bit of stuffing on it.
Oh, you need
piccalilli.
That's corny, you know.
Piccalilli's
nice, you know.
Was you born in the 40s?
You're finished. Piccalilli, that's out of order. That's out of order.
Honestly, or cranberry sauce or something like that.
Cranberry, yeah, I'll have that.
Right, so they're quick going back to the coffees. Is it true that Chris lives off croissants and flat white?
100%.
Well, I'll let you be the judge. It's not far off, you know.
I reckon there's been a 6-month period
hectic
every
lifestyle
single
now,
day.
in terms of like just in and out rushing and
It was an almond croissant and 2 flat whites.
Yeah,
every
when
single day.
Starbucks was doing the almond croissants, I did witness Chris empty the counter of almond croissants.
it is
He
a
gets-
bad,
he
it's
gets
a bad,
almost
it's a bad
aggressive now.
good habit.
He almost gets aggressive now when he goes in because they've stopped doing the almond croissants.
I know. I think he
This is
blames,
out of order, love, where are
the
they?
girls behind the counter.
But yeah, it's I don't, but it's not far off. But that's a goal for next year, is to stop spending obscene amounts of money on coffee. Because I've got a decent coffee machine in the house, so I need to start utilising it.
He's just start making coffee for the boys then.
That's the
You
pre-warehouse.
still haven't made us one?
I know you don't come round in the morning.
You don't invite me. The only time you want me to come round is so I can get naked and go in your ice bath.
Well, get naked, get in the ice bath, and I'll do you the coffee.
That'd be half
Why
an
you're in it. Yeah. New content.
So I'll let you two answer this one then. Is Matty a closet Tory?
Yeah.
100%.
I don't even think it's closet, is it?
Champagne beer.
Yeah. Champagne beer.
And then he offered us a sparkling water to clean our palates before we changed ale.
That's genuine as well.
Yeah.
There he is, yeah.
It's not even like cheap sparkling water either. It's like proper Italian stuff.
I think the answer to the question is he's no longer closet. He's just
out.
a Tory.
Full on out.
Yeah, it's easy for everyone to see.
The sparkling water alone's out of order, like, isn't it?
Sorry, pop, innit?
So yeah,
Says
the answer
the
is
two guys,
it's not closet, it's definite. Yeah.
says the two guys on the couch that wouldn't have tap water the other day.
No, I don't. Tap.
Ooh,
If you
no,
drink
not
tap
tap
water, you've lost your mind. But that's another topic. Yeah.
Right, okay, so on the topic of having champagne beer and stuff like that, can you still drink and make progress? I'm guessing that's in a training aspect and a performance aspect.
Well, yeah, you can. You can relate progress to whatever. So if you're trying to get stronger, you can absolutely booze and still get strong or stronger. But obviously, everyone on the planet knows it's not great for you. I don't feel any benefit of having a drink now. It just destroys me. I wake up feeling terrible. I'm saying that drinking beer now. Yeah, it's great while you're having one. Afterwards, I can't recover. It takes me about a week to get over the drink now. And that's genuine. A week minimum to feel normal again.
It goes off like the volume. Like if you're having one beer a night, it's probably not going to do any harm. But if you're one of them fellas who's having 5-6 pints every single night, chances are you're probably not going to make any progress, and you're going to feel like shit anyway. Your recovery's going to be shit. So it just depends, doesn't it?
It depends how much you're having. It depends how often you're having it. A glass of red
bit in
wine
moderation, innit?
can actually increase performance in some aspects. It can increase the amount of oxygen.
He's only saying this because there's a glass of red wine every night.
Yeah, Matt, he's a connoisseur, isn't he?
Yeah.
But his scallops.
No, I don't like scallops. That's one Tory thing I don't like. Love a bit of pate. But yeah, I agree. It all depends on how much you're having. To go out and have a nice night out, it's good for your mental state. Obviously,
socialising is a big one.
Drinking all the time is negative for your mental state because it is a depressant. Regardless of how you look at it, alcohol's a depressant.
Yeah.
But while you're having it, it's great.
Yeah.
So you've got to be able to go out to socialise, enjoy your night, especially around Christmas time. Everyone's going on Christmas nights out. Yeah. Go and enjoy it.
Yeah, that's it, 100%. You got to live a life and keep it fun, but it's in terms of progress, you can, but it's a lot more difficult to while you're gaining the ale all the time. That's a definite.
Just got to be careful, haven't you? You know, you've gone too far, like when you're flying home from town and it's in a trolley from the Asda.
That's 6 in the morning.
Probably gone too far there, haven't you? I've done it, honestly.
You've done that?
Picked up on Queen's Drive, lad, the busies.
I definitely haven't, but yeah. Ale does terrible things to people, especially.
This guy represented the country and everything. So, I've just read the next question, and there's no other way of saying it other than the way it's written. Is it true Nathan has a trouser snake? Now,
I think he might have asked this himself.
I was going to say, was this question from Nathan?
No, definitely not.
Definitely not.
No.
Because you knew
his
it was
Mrs. might have popped up on
It's
that.
embarrassing for me because it's like a disability. It takes me like 15 minutes to clean it.
I thought you were going to say to find it.
That's the truth.
Yeah, to find it. Moving on.
Yeah, let's move on quickly before that
He's
goes.
burning up.
Yeah, I know it says explicit on the podcast, but let's not go there. So, Why did Nathan make me do 8 sets of RDLs?
Who said that?
I don't know.
think it's
There's
from
no
Dylan.
names, to be fair.
Dylan.
Cluster format.
Cluster format. So explain the benefits.
It's quite like an in-depth way of training, really. So for instance, if you're doing like 4 sets of 10, so overall the volume's 40 reps. So, but you wouldn't be able to lift the same amount of weight for 4 sets of 10 that you could for, say, 10 sets of 4. So you can lift higher weights. You can get better
for the 4 reps.
You can lift the higher weights, so you're going to get more multi-unit recruitment. So you're going to recruit more muscle fibers. The quality of your reps are going to be better. You're getting little breaks in between, so subsequent sets are going to be performed better. You can also get you can also match volume, and you just overall the adaptations are just. No, it's not better. It's not so superior. It's just a different way of doing it, but it's a nice way of getting strong quick. Yeah. So, for instance, you got a plateau on bench. You can only say you're stuck on 100 kilos. You can only do it for 3. So why don't you split it up into 3 sets of 2? You've doubled your volume there with the same weight, with quality reps. So it's just another tool, another approach.
Yeah, something I use massively. Cluster sets is a really nice way of training for me personally. It's a probably an underutilised tool, I'd say, within training, but one that can massively help, as Nathan said, with plateau, where you just think I couldn't press any heavier than that, or I couldn't push any heavier than that.
And all you go from there is like, so say you do your 2 reps on the bench press, for instance, you're having a minute rest, 2 reps, minute rest, 2 reps. You can, to progress it and try and put them together, you reduce the rest time in between. Then eventually you might be able to do 100 for 4 or 5. So you've progressed there. And then you can increase the weight and do the same principle. It's just another method. And it's time efficient as well.
It is really good. We've been doing it lately.
It's in the hybrid program. That's why it's used.
So we're currently like test running the hybrid program, aren't we?
So we do it on the RDLs because we want to build robustness when your hamstrings are lengthening. Because that's we're doing a lot of running with it being a hybrid program. The chances are you could suffer from injuries like pull hamstrings, which normally happens when you're running because your hamstrings are working eccentrically to slow your shin bone down. So if we become strong there, we're less likely to get injured. So we're just increasing the what was it? How do you describe
basically
it's the tolerance to the
tolerance,
training,
and your running costs you less tax.
That's it.
So you've got subsequent performance weeks, months after. Yeah.
Well, we spoke about that in the last podcast, didn't we? When people were saying it can't be done.
Yeah.
But then I posted that paper the other day, didn't I? It was a meta-analysis of the highest level of research that proves you need to be lifting heavy alongside running to improve running economy, running performance. It goes hand in hand together. Yeah. It's always better to mix them together.
Yeah.
So the next one is, I'm guessing it's how do you get festive and keep it fun?
How do I get festive? I think just for me, like, just simplicity. So just some downtime. Yeah. Nice downtime with the family. Like, you can't really beat chilling out with the family. For me personally, it's very difficult to switch off because it's my business and it's like you're always thinking about what you need to do next and sorting diaries out and touching base with people to see how they are. But sometimes it's nice to just pull back from it. As I say, it's something I struggle with massively in terms of actually truly switching off. But Christmas is the one time where I feel like it's easier to do. Just to feel a good time, isn't it? So yeah, definitely keep it fun. Have a good drink, plenty of food. It's there to be enjoyed. You can't really be thinking about calorie deficits and training splits and all this type of stuff during Christmas. You just got to enjoy it and get loose with it a little bit. So yeah, that'll be just spending time with family, relaxing, spending time with the kids, having a drink, eating too much food, and then sitting on the couch all day paying for it. Basically, that's my fun.
Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? It's as much as it is for us as coaches working, we need to have a downtime for not thinking about all that and not getting involved in as much as that as we usually would. But it's for the people training as well. It's for the people doing rehab as well. Don't get me wrong, the rehab exercises, like your basic rehab exercises, do them every day. Yeah. Keep doing them throughout the Christmas. They don't take long. Yeah. But when you're going down the performance route and stuff like that, have a little relax. Yeah. No, like, it's only you. So if you want to relax, then you relax. It's only you that's going to pay. So it just means that in the January, you know that you need to work harder, faster, better,
it's more efficient. Yeah, it's when you're looking at out and out performance, unless you're a top end paid athlete and you've got to make weight at whatever, like the 1st of January or whatever, like you can afford to have a little week off. Like you got to enjoy Christmas. If you don't enjoy Christmas, you might as well wrap it up now. But obviously, basically what I do to my clients in terms of like treating the festive season is say, right, treat it as 6 days off. So you're going to have Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and then maybe like your work night out.
Yeah.
Just forget about training and performance and nutrition and all that for them days. And then if you're really on it, the other days still matter, so make them count. But just forget about it for 6 days, like your work night out or your social night out. And then, as I say, the Crimbo Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, just forget about it. And basically, the food that you will definitely have overate, put it towards training performance.
Yeah, exactly.
So use that fuel to go for a longer run or get in the gym and lift heavier or whatever it is. It's just enjoy it. And then get back to routine as and when you feel as though you're available to. You're not going to feel great in the first week of January. You're going to probably feel a little bit sluggish. The training sessions don't have to be amazing. Yeah. But just get moving again. Build a little bit of momentum.
Yeah, that's not to say that you've lost your progress either. If you feel sluggish in the new year, that's just because you've had a little rest period and then you're back to it. So your body's got to learn that, right, this is the norm again, right, I've got to get going. It's not that you've lost all your progress.
Yeah.
That's what people are scared of, I think. People are scared of losing progress. And they think if they have a week off, then they're going to lose all the progress that they've put in for the year that they've had. It's mad. It takes a lot longer than a week to lose that year. Yeah. And it takes a lot shorter of a time to get it back. Yeah. It only takes a week to get that back and get the ball rolling again. Once you've got that first week out the way, you're flying.
Just get moving again.
Yeah. Depends what makes you happy. Like I have like a different mindset, like where training's always first for me.
We all know that you don't stop.
I love training because it makes me feel good. It makes me feel better. So I can't, if I sack training off one morning and then to relax, and then it make me feel shit, like mentally. So for me, it's not about the physical benefits. It's more just to keep myself sane, sort of thing. So, and I feel like if I am going out for a meal and having a few bevies, like I've earned it kind of. So for me, it's like I'm not saying that everyone's different, and some people like. They need that time off. For me, and I know there's other people who are like me, like they just need to train like regular. So for me, like I just crack on as normal. I might eat a few more calories, I might have a few more beers, but I'll just crack on as normal.
Yeah, to be fair, I've been there myself as well in the past. I've trained all the way through the Christmas holidays just to give myself a little release, give myself a little bit of normality, get me head straight for the day. Fill a little bit of time, because a lot of people like to lie in on the Christmas period.
It's an hour out your day, isn't it?
Yeah. So like, if I don't like to lie in, I'm just getting up and I'm just sitting downstairs on my own. No one's talking, no one's doing this, that, and the other. So I'll just go to the gym. I've done it on Christmas Day before today.
Yeah, I go for a run Christmas morning.
There's not many gyms open, but I have been to the gym on Christmas Day before, and it's not that I'm not socialising with people. It's that I'm up before people. So I'll go to the gym. That's it, yeah. You're not routine anyway because of all the months of training.
Yeah, you do what works for you on that day.
Whatever makes you happy. Like for me, I know I'll have a far better Christmas Day. If I get after it for an hour, Christmas morning, I'll enjoy Christmas Day far better. And that's just the way my mind works.
That's what works for you, love.
Isn't it? Right, okay, so next question is, why are you so sexy?
What's that, me?
I don't know who that's pointed towards.
Could be any of us, to be fair.
Could be any of us, but I'm going to go to Chris.
Clearly on about me, obviously.
Flattered him.
That's why I didn't go to Nathan.
It's hard work, isn't it? I wouldn't say it was sexy, to be honest. I just...
I mean...
What did you say?
Not shaggy.
There we have it then.
It's okay, let's move on from that.
The answer is, I don't know how to answer it.
Can I just say, this is 2 podcasts in a run that both of you have shown an intimacy. Yeah. No, just an intimacy. I'm just happy for you.
Yeah. It's been a pleasure.
That's what he said.
Literally. Right, okay, so a bit of a serious one. What are your qualifications and what's the best course that you've done?
To me?
Yeah.
It's a long list. So
you've done you are.
I've done a lot of courses. I'm probably going to forget half of them here. Best course.
Let's stick with the best course.
What I'll say before I answer this is that like the qualifications you've got don't actually matter as much as what most people would think. So like it obviously at certain levels you do need specific qualifications. Like so like you need a level 3P to get insured in a gym to train people. Yeah. That's a given. So blah 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 blah. You can go round the bend with that.
The boxes to tick, aren't they?
Yeah, so you need to tick specific boxes if you want to do a specific thing. So if you want to be a level 3 PT and you want to be insured to train somebody in a gym setting, you need to be a level 3 PT. Yeah. So like you do need to tick off certain things if you want to do a specific job role, but the qualifications you've got don't matter half as much as what people would think. So I think it does give people confidence in what you can offer if you tell them, oh, I've got a degree in this and I've got an MRes in this and I've got X, Y and Z. Like you can go around a bend with it. I've got all sorts of certifications, spinal orthotic specific, spinal rehabilitation specific, spinal manipulation specific. I've done precision nutrition specific coaching, FRC mobility specialist, all that type of stuff alongside the degree level stuff as well. And it's all great, but it comes back again to what we said on the first episode, is it's like you gotta fine tune what you know and like what you've applied out of them things that you've done qualification level and apply it to real people. So like I have done a lot of certifications and qualifications. I'm doing certified conditioning coach one at the minute, which is from a guy called Joel Jameson who works with like UFC athletes and that type of stuff. Really good course. Again, I like to do something every single year to keep my skill set kind of topped up, so I do a minimum of one certification or course or qualification every single year, and I have done that since I began because I just like to do it. I like to keep up to date. I like to make sure that my skill set is good and is improving constantly, as we touched on in the first episode.
That's quality
again
as well, though, because you get like guys who do the level 3 PT and that's it. But you get someone like Chris, he's looking to improve his knowledge every single year.
It's investing in yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the big one. It's investing in yourself. The clients are going
to reap the benefits of
but you help more people.
Putting the work in to learn.
Yeah,
well,
that's what you're paying for.
That's it. Like you don't see any benefits from the money you expend out, other than the client's benefit, and then
you can help people better.
That's it. You help people better, which then in turn encourages more people to come to you, which is it does benefit you in that sense. But actually going and doing the courses doesn't actually give you any money back.
No,
it's actually cost you a lot of money.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
It's like that's why I don't like spiel too much about like what I've got in terms of like, oh, I've got this, that, and the other, because it doesn't matter as much as what people think. What was the best? Was the second part of the question? What's the best course you've done? Was it?
Yeah.
A course is a little bit different. Out and out course, I'd actually say the precision nutrition. Really enjoyed it, like the style of education with it, which is like hard copy books, digital lectures that were like really good to watch. From John Barada, who's like a top end. The way he articulates stuff is brilliant. He breaks down complex information into easily digestible information, which is something that I like to try and do as well, and kind of learn off them type of people where they've got knowledge level up here, but they know how to articulate it to this level where most people will understand what you're saying. That's what matters most in this type of world for me. So best, I'd definitely say the precision nutrition is the best one I've done in terms of an overall course, the way it's delivered. And then what qualifications, as I say, like I've touched on a few there. I'd be here for a while if I say everything, like so.
But similar sort of thing. Like one of the best courses and most not so much shocking, but like I literally found out that I really didn't know that much about my own body was during the lockdown. I done a microbiology course. Yeah. In the biome of the body. It was on the back of taking the Bactini from Gut First. I was just dead intrigued that obviously we both use it religiously. It's an unbelievable product that there's nothing like it out there, is there really? I just got dead interested in it, and I found myself with loads of time on my hands. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to learn about why this is good for me, and dove right into it. And the stuff that you go into is absolutely crazy. And to find out like all about the biomes of the body was just ridiculous. And obviously with a time where viruses are
at the
on the news all the time, to actually learn about viruses, the size of viruses, even down to that level, it was really, really good. But one that I'm really enjoying doing, as what you said with the course material and stuff like that, you're actually getting a lot from it. was the Body Master Method stuff with John Gibbons that I've been doing lately. I'm not a Body Master practitioner. I am working my way through the courses. Eventually I would like to become a practitioner. As you said, again, it's just a label. It's not really a measure of how good you are at anything.
Yeah.
But it'll be a nice little addition to my skill set, because some of the stuff that he talks about, and it's like almost like the rehab testing and the exercise and stuff like that. He doesn't just stick to the old school stuff. He manipulates them to. He said, I've got, I think, 40 years experience, and he's shown us, the people that are doing his courses, how he's done them and how he's modified them.
Yeah, he's evolved. Yeah, his style will have evolved in that time. Yeah.
So for me, that course is probably the most valuable to me. That I'm doing at the moment. But yeah, it's a hard question when you go into what.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's like a skin in the game thing, and have you got skin in the game? Like, it's that thing, but it's like everything that we're saying now and everything that every other coach is saying and will say, it'll have come from somebody else who's better than them. So like you're just recycling information. And how well you deliver that information and how well you get people on board with that information matters for the people you help. You can't help everyone. And on the first episode, we touched into that, like, sort of, we're trying to help everyone, but the truth is you actually can't help every single person on the planet. There'll be somebody who just needs something different than what you offer. But having that skin in the game, like, when people are new especially, it gives you that little bit of validity where, like, people trust you a little bit more if you tell them that you've got X, Y, and Z in terms of qualifications. But for me, it doesn't matter half as much as what people will make out that it does from the outside looking in. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. The next question we've sort of answered was training over the festive period, training Christmas Day to feel good and enjoy more. I think we all agree
we've answered that.
It's person to person, isn't it? It's like myself and yourself, Nathan. We would enjoy a session on Christmas Day. Chris, with the family and the kids and stuff like that, you probably go.
I won't be training. I will train in and around Christmas, but like what I say to my clients is what I do myself. So I have an out and out, like, specific 6-ish days off where I don't think about training. I don't care what I'm eating. I'm just going to enjoy it. So like I will train in and around Christmas, but it's not going to be my priority at that time of year. Definitely not. No, I've got a little bit of spare time, and like. Yeah, I've got the opportunity to go out for a quick run and I want to because I feel good off it. Yeah. I'll take it. Or if I've ate too much and I think I feel a bit sluggish, I wouldn't mind burning a touch off, then I will. But yeah, it's not going to be a priority of mine to focus on training performance over Christmas. But it will be as soon as I get back into the rhythm of, like, working with clients again, because I like to stay sharp and I like to be on it a little bit. And the things I'm telling people, you kind of got to do yourself. If you tell people to do a specific thing, or you're trying to advise people but you never do it yourself, it's a tough sell. So yeah, I'll be definitely back on it as soon as my routine gets back to a normal one after Christmas. Yeah.
So the best part of a Christmas dinner, quickly go.
The roasties, isn't it?
Roasties, gotta be.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Yeah,
and the dessert afterwards. Dessert. I'm a big dessert man. So like,
drink.
I do enjoy dessert.
And the booze, yeah.
And
cheesecake, man.
And the veg.
And everything.
Yeah, it's pretty much like the Christmas dinner is.
Give me the lot.
The cheese board, lad. Cheese board.
Oh, the cheese board.
Christmas Eve cheese board.
I've been labelled the Tory of the group, and we've got someone here talking about cheese boards.
I mean, I'm just a pretend Tory.
Act like one twice a year.
Yeah. So, what are your festive plans?
Festive plans, where would you start that? Like the whole of December, like everything gets social in December, doesn't it? Like there's a lot of social occasions come up.
So festive plans, let's talk about lead up to Christmas Day, so the couple of days before, when you finish work to when you start work again.
Yeah, so for me, I'm working up to the 23rd this year. Within that week, I'm having a couple of days off, birthday on the 19th, and then some family stuff on the Thursday, the 22nd. So I'll be doing like a 3-day week, and then from there, mate, it's just clean the house. Get all the baby's toys
Christmas
pushed
clean.
upstairs so the new ones can come down. But in all seriousness, we're doing it this year. So we're having people over to ours, upgrading the kitchen.
Them roasties better be spot on then.
Yeah,
They're gonna be.
Pressure.
I know what I'm doing in the kitchen. I'm not too bad in the kitchen, to be fair.
It's all for a big game, yeah.
Basically, Laura knows what she's doing in the kitchen.
Nah, I chip in. Like I do turn the oven on. Nah, but no.
He sits in the corner with a beard and he's like, do that.
Nah, just
Kicks the chair.
to relax. The answer is just to relax. We're going to Disneyland Paris with the kids on New Year's Day. So we're just going to relax, just go out, eat, drink, work towards Paris, and then go and enjoy ourselves from there, and then set some goals for the new year and come into the new working year.
Lovely stuff.
For the mindset of the level up, as it always is, yeah.
So Nathan, what's your plans?
Same old, just crack on as normal.
Just crack on, yeah.
I pretty much do the same thing. Run,
You're not
lift,
stopping,
run, lift. Do my uni work. Don't get me wrong, I'll have a couple of beers, I'll have a cheese board. I'll eat a lot of shit food. I enjoy my scran, like, I don't stop eating, but it's just business as usual for me.
Didn't know you enjoyed your food. So
The big lad.
what's your whoa, there's no need for that. Like. So what's your go-to wine for Christmas?
That red wine, innit? It's gotta be.
Yeah, I just stick with the Rioja. It's just like a standard, you know what you're getting.
It's nice, innit?
I'm not a big connoisseur, to be honest. I have like a glass with me dinner, couple of glasses at most on Christmas Eve, just to feel part of what everyone else is doing.
The Rioja goes nice with food and just drinking it. So.
Yeah, the Rioja for me, just like an easy. Yeah.
Box the fellas off with a little.
But Matty's the Tory, so he'll know what the high end stuff is.
He turns his nose up, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Probably throw that in the bin when we leave.
Yeah, you got
Smash it in the back garden.
I'm in no way, shape or form a connoisseur. No,
So can I?
But he'll be able to recommend the better one, won't he?
Yeah.
No,
Rioja's standard.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
You can get very, very nice Riojas.
Yeah.
Obviously. I think my go-to wine for Christmas is a Chateau Neuf de Pape.
Yeah.
Just because
even the sound of that story, innit?
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you try saying that without sounding like that.
Exactly. I don't even know what he said.
Just have a can of Foster's, lad.
But yeah, it's just I like strong wine.
Yeah.
So it's like that is a stronger wine, more intense taste than a Rioja.
It's a Tory podcast, there's now.
For more coaching on red wine choices, message Matty on Instagram.
It's full bodied.
It's a Matty the Sommelier. That's the word for red wine connoisseur.
I didn't know that.
Don't talk.
I knew he knew it. But
right, so moving on. Would you rather train 6 duck-sized Ryans or 1 Ryan Burns-sized duck?
Yeah, it's a very good question. That. So yeah, for anyone who's just wondering what's going on here with this question, is Ryan is a client of mine, and he's just a very funny person to coach. He's basically hanging out the gym after every set, having a meltdown, makes some very, very strange noises when he's training that I just basically spend the hour training and laughing my head off. He trains with Big Mark, and it's always good. It's always a good laugh coaching him. But what was the question? 1 duck-sized?
So it's 6 duck-sized Ryan Burns or 1 Ryan Burns-sized duck. See, if you've got 6 of them, you're going to need a lot of doorways for them to hang out.
Yeah, go with the 1, because 6. Yeah,
door.
there's not enough room. There's not enough door space in our gym to have 6 of him hanging out.
Well, you've got 1 ski egg as well.
Yeah,
1 ski egg, yeah, and I know he likes the ski egg, so yeah, let's go with the 1.
Is there much difference between the duck and Ryan Burns?
Yeah, ducks are quite low to the floor, aren't they? Burns, he's a decent sized lad, yeah, so he's yeah, let's go with the 1.
1 duck-sized Ryan
Yeah,
Burns.
that's the answer.
Get the duck on the ski egg.
Can't reach the handles though, can it?
So how do you deal with clumsy clients you train?
Yeah, I think the question's bred out of like a bit of banter, but like a clumsy, like there's like a clumsy. If you want to title people that, obviously people learn different. So like from like a coaching perspective, it can be quite humbling sometimes when you get like a beginner in. Yeah. This is something I used to do years ago. Was I used to just get people in and start training them, And then until I sort of created that, like the two like flagship programs in terms of like laying the foundations, building the house, where you're taking people from like, even if they're not a beginner, but you can still make them better at the fundamentals. Something I used to sort of pigeonhole people into was I'd just have like a program and I'd just go, right, you're going to come in. And when I first started back in 2014, I might have had someone deadlifting on the first session. You don't know whether they can hinge and stuff, but it's like, it's mistakes you make, and it obviously makes you better. So like clumsy clients, like from a serious perspective, is you've got to know like your coaching progressions, and you got to know how to articulate your message. So you should have, every session you do with somebody should have like a specific outcome that you're trying to achieve. So like if you get somebody coming in on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday, you want to be saying, right, today we're working towards X, Y and Z. Reason why is this, like you should introduce your session, or I do that way anyway. I introduce the session, talk people through what we're doing and what we're looking for, or looking to get out of it. If you've got a clumsy client in, you might just dumb it down a little bit. It doesn't mean dumb it down to make it like sound like disrespectful, but you might just say, today we're looking to build muscle here and the rep ranges are higher. For a client who's a little bit more switched on, you might go into like, right, we're going to be utilising cluster sets because of X, Y and Z. So it's your message again based on who you're working with on the day. So yeah, it's not really a problem about dealing with people. It's more about finding the tools that you need again. So like how you alter your coaching style based on who stood in front of you, and being able to simplify or like complexify, if that's a word, like make your coaching style simpler to understand, and then make it a bit more high end if the person's ready to listen to the high end stuff. So it's a good question. Yeah.
Again, it goes back to us making it more personal.
Yeah, definitely.
The personal side of personal training.
But I know the guy who's mentioning it because he's had a few accidents in our gym. So big Philbo, he's rolled his ankles a few times. Nearly fell through my door. So yeah, Philbo's another heroic guy to train as well. He's a good lad. Yeah, always brings me a coffee as well. So you got to respect that.
That's always a respectful point. Yeah. So how many whiskies are acceptable pre-roast dinner? So for me, it's how much can you drink?
Yeah. Like how many can you fit in?
Now whiskey's like for me, it's like a nightcap thing, innit?
Yeah, it definitely is. Like you can't. I know people that can nail whiskey, but
I'd probably go a couple of beers in a day. Couple of glasses of wine,
Are you alright?
He's been on it,
you know. Gone.
Couple of glasses of wine around your meal, and then maybe towards the end of the night you start to have a couple of whiskies.
Yeah. Well, the lad who's asked it, Dan, he's a bit of an athlete, to be fair. I don't think he gives himself enough credit that how good of an athlete he is. He does a bit of BJJ, he's a good lifter, and I know he's a big whiskey man. So the answer would be for him specific. However many you can fit in is the answer. I can't touch it.
Don't spoil your roast out, do you? You know what I mean?
That's it. I've had a few bad episodes on it, like, so I don't touch it anymore because I just can't handle it, basically. So I stick to me girly Disaronno and Coke. So
it is rough gear, isn't
it? It's put you away, like, put you away.
Very, very bad. So, next one is what is a hybrid training? Like, what is hybrid training? Where do you go with that?
Yeah, we'll throw that over to Scorpius because he's basically if anyone listened to the first one, we're going to be releasing hybrid specific program next year, which is basically what Nathan's going to program for us with a little bit of help and hand from both of us. Yeah. So yeah, let's throw it over to Nathan.
I guess in its simplest form, it's basically just training like an athlete. I mean, unless you want to step on stage and be a bodybuilder, then why train like a bodybuilder? Don't get me wrong, I admire like the hard work and the dedication they put in. They look fantastic or whatever. But are you fit? Are you healthy? Yeah. Aerobically, can you perform? So it's kind of like you're not going to excel at any one thing, but you're going to be really good at all of them. So it's like bringing them all together, all components of fitness. So you can be powerful, strong, big, athletic, fit. So it's just like being an athlete basically, but like an all-rounder, so you can just perform. So I just don't get like, I don't like going down like one avenue. Yeah. I've done it myself in the past. I've done CrossFit, I've done bodybuilding, and then like I've done bodybuilding and I think, oh, I look boss, but then I feel like I see someone going out for a run and I think, I can't do that. I just
can't breathe.
I think we've all been there, like, haven't we, with our training?
I've done CrossFit and I'm like, I'm fit, but like I haven't got that much muscle mass on me, or I'm not that strong. So I always think, I mean, I've trained since I was 13 years old. So I've been around like strength and conditioning coaches and PTs and all different types of people. Been around gyms since I was 13. I'm 29 on Saturday. Apart from 2 years, I took out 2 or 3 years through injury.
Finished.
That's it.
Bad paper.
I've got like 13, 14 years experience training. So I've dabbled in everything, and I always feel best when I can do a bit of everything. So for me, it's like, you want to be fit, healthy, fast, fitter, stronger, leaner, then that's definitely the way to go. So it's just a combination of everything, really.
Yeah, it's becoming a more rounded person as well.
That's it, yeah. Like, rounded athlete, rounded person.
Which in turn is prehab again. It's like not rehab. We're not trying to fix people's injuries eventually. What we want to do is we want to stop people getting injured.
Yeah.
And to stop people getting injured, you need to be good at everything. Your body needs to be able to do everything. There's no good in lifting loads if you run up the stairs and you
movement quality is massive, isn't it, in training?
Yeah.
So
mobility.
Yeah, the robustness stuff, isn't it? It's like hybrid is, like as Nathan was touching on, like bodybuilding. Like, listen, if you want to build tissue, listen to a bodybuilder because they're the best at it.
Yeah, that's it.
But like, if you want to be fit, you want to be strong, you want to be powerful, you want to be like, functional is a bit of a mad word, but like, if you basically want to be your body to be usable, like how many elite level bodybuilders do you see now who have been at the peak 20 years ago and they can't play with the kids or they can't put the socks on?
There's not many.
For me, I wouldn't make that sacrifice. When I'm 40 to 50 years old, I still want to be going out running, still want to be going up mountains, I still want to be playing with me kids and be able to move. You see a lot of people training like bodybuilders, and if you're not going to step on stage and you're not going to be paid well for it, because even the elite don't get paid that well for it, why would you do it? In my opinion, that makes no sense. So hybrid style for me has always been a thing. I've always played football to an alright standard. I've always played loads of sports, and I've always been pretty good at all sports, but not unbelievable at one. And I think that's fed into me training in terms of I still enjoy me running and I'm okay at it. I'm not bad in the weight room. I'm pretty strong. I'm pretty mobile. I don't struggle with pain. My movement quality is decent. I'm fit. For me, that's the win. And then you can build your base off that base. Whereas if you train like a bodybuilder all your life, and then by the time you're 40, you're struggling to get out of bed. For me, that's not a sacrifice I'm willing to make, and it's not one I'm going to make either.
It's not to say that you're not going to look at that. I always say that it's a bit cringy, but I say athletics builds aesthetics. Yeah. So if you continually do the small things right, you continually running, you continually lifting, you're going to look good anyway.
Yeah, you're going to have a respectable physique, what like is natural, and you still look good at your top off and black. So you can have a little bit of everything. Yeah,
you're going to look good in every aspect. So you're gonna have muscle. You're gonna be ripped to an extent. You're not gonna be the most ripped person. You're not gonna be the most muscular person. You're not gonna be the fittest person, as Nathan said before. But you're gonna look.
As is life, though.
Really good.
There's always someone bigger, stronger, faster, better looking.
Yeah.
You're gonna be in the middle of the continuum, aren't you? In terms of like you're a little bit of everything, and you feel good. Yeah, you feel good is the main thing.
You're gonna be the unicorn within everyone else, because that's something that people don't think is achievable. People don't believe that you can be everything.
Well, look at boxers, for example. Super fit anaerobically, powerful, strong. Look at the bodies.
Yeah, they still look great.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Well, let's not talk about Fury, like, but
obviously there's exceptions. Isn't
Fury's an abnormality, and he's the peak of physical performance and skill.
Good sprinters,
but he doesn't. It's hard to explain. Sometimes the Fury one's hard to explain.
But that's it. But
he is elite. That's it. He's an abnormality within that field. Yeah, so you've got to be respected either way. Yeah. Sometimes tough to get your head round that you could look like him would be the peak or the pinnacle of a sport, and it comes back to like if you just search for physique and aesthetics constantly, you're probably going to feel shortchanged forever, in my opinion. That's why us as a company don't push massive transformations. People ask for it, and we can deliver it, and we do deliver it. I've got 1,001 transformation pictures, but you will see on my socials, I don't post that many. Usually the ones I post will be where people will send me them and say like how happy they are with the progress. And then I'll say, it's a great story, let's share it. But you'll see on my page, there's not a lot of transformations for this reason, what we're talking about now. Yeah.
It's more.
Come have a toilet break there, because I'm about to wet myself.
Right, so now Nathan's actually relieved himself and he can sit down, the 2-year-old in the corner. We'll go on to the next one. The next question: England win the World Cup or Liverpool title? So that's obviously came from a Liverpool fan.
It's a terrible question because there's only one winner, isn't there?
I'd rather Liverpool win a League Cup than England win a World Cup. I'm not asked.
To me as a Evertonian, I know. I'd rather England win the World Cup than Everton win the league. Do you know why? Because it's never going to happen.
Yeah, like probability.
It's a hypothetical question, isn't it?
It is. It's never going to happen. But England could win the World Cup next time round if they get their act together. They've got the players. They've got the team.
Not the manager. But no, from that perspective, like, my emotional interest in international footy is zero.
Same.
That's part of the problem, though, isn't it? Like,
as a kid, it
country,
was.
We don't really have a high level of interest. Whether it's just the north, maybe the south is a little bit different.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah,
definitely up here in Liverpool, there's not that much investment.
No one cares. I don't have any.
I've lost I think I've watched one half of England in the whole World Cup.
Yeah, with the World Cup. As it's on now, as we're speaking, I've got no interest in it. Like, I could take it or leave it, genuinely, when Liverpool are back on in late December.
You won't miss it.
I won't miss it, yeah.
I don't actively, seek England to lose. I'm just not that interested.
Yeah, I'm not arsed either way, basically, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, so it's a no-brainer for you guys, isn't it?
Yeah, Liverpool title all day long
for the
original question, yeah. Liverpool to win the title. Or as Nathan said, even Liverpool to win a World Cup and have a day out at Wembley. League Cup and a day out at Wembley over England. Yeah.
We have won the Club World Cup, though, haven't we?
What, that Mickey Mouse trophy? Yeah. Everton would never even lower themselves to win that. So, next question, quite a serious one, to be fair. You said that optimal can never really be achieved within training, as there's always improvements to be made. What if you're not training to meet a specific goal other than your mental health and being happy? So I'll leave that with Chris for now.
Yeah, really good question. Well, I think that the question is bred from, like, the priority for everybody, really, is that, like, if you feel good, the mental factor of exercise is brilliant. Like, it's free medication in a way, in terms of, like,
best medication.
Yeah. So
at times
you don't always have to have goals. You can obviously just train in, like, a bit of a flow state and just tick over, which is good. For me, I like to work towards something and, like, follow a specific program, so I've got a little bit of structure. I don't always follow it to the letter, but, like, I will follow a program year round to have that little bit of a background structure and work towards something. But the back end of the question, in terms of, like, the mental perspective, is obviously growing. People are starting to realise that, like, you need it more for the mental side than just, like, being shredded or being ripped and all that type of stuff, which is a good thing for the industry, in terms of it's going a little bit more, like, health focused for me.
Yeah.
From the outside looking in, or from the inside looking in. Yeah, really good question. I think, like, sometimes you don't have to, so, like, if you're just ticking over to feel good and to keep the mental state in a good spot, that's the priority. So that is that goal. That is the goal for that person. So it's kind of, as I say, it's free medication. And you gotta use free medication, because it's if you are doing it from that perspective, and that gives you that release that we touched on in episode 1, that's the release. Some people turn to booze or whatever, do you know what I mean, chaos of a weekend, and that's their release. But, like, when you're exercising to feel good, you usually feel good. If you're boozing to release, in my opinion, you usually feel worse the day after. You'll get up and feel terrible. Whereas if you train, I don't know many people, what I will say here is, a lot of people who train with me specifically, more often than not, they'll come in and they'll be like, I couldn't be bothered today, or, like, I don't feel up for this, or, like, I don't feel that well, or don't know many people who leave and don't feel better. Everybody who leaves feels better.
I don't think anyone's ever trained and gone, I regret that.
I'm gutted. Yeah, like, everyone feels better off it.
See, no, that's the answer. There is times that people could go like that, though. If you go and train while you're not feeling well, if you go and train with a cold or a flu, you're not going to leave feeling better.
Yeah.
There's times where
it's happened to me where I've been ill and I've trained and felt...
You've got to rein yourself in a little bit.
But from a mental perspective, I don't know anybody who trains and feels worse after it.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody on the planet who comes in a mental low state.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
And leaves in a mentally lower state. Everybody on the planet, I train. Yeah. who comes in a little bit, might be stressed, might like motivation's low or whatever, they always leave feeling better, and that's the win. That's like kind of the answer to the question from my side in terms of people I help and me personally. If I get up and I think I've got like loads of stuff to do today and like I get a little bit of anxiety or overwhelm, like go out for a run early doors and I'll come back and I'll just have mental clarity, freshness, you can process your thoughts, you just feel better. Like that's the answer, you just feel better off it, yeah. So yeah, optimal probably can't ever be achieved, but if you're training to improve mental state, you're winning, because it's probably gonna work, yeah.
I think we don't use the word mental fitness.
Yeah.
Nobody uses the word mental fitness. It's always mental health.
Yeah.
Whereas you don't say I'm going to the gym to improve my physical health.
Yeah.
You don't. You go to improve your fitness,
yeah,
or your attributes, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But if you're going for the fitness, you don't say health.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's part of the problem, is people always look at it as mental health issues, or your mental health is low, but it might be your mental fitness is low. So you need to work on that fitness level, and physical fitness and physical exercise is proven. Obviously, you'll know this with all your surveys and your analysis and stuff like that. It is proven to boost mental state. But on the back of what you're saying about it's different for everybody, I've done the mental first aid course, and that couldn't be a more true statement. Every single person's different, and it may be that you just want to go and just do whatever you want in the gym, but it makes you feel good. So that's it. Like, if you're happy doing that and you think that that's what, if that's what makes you feel good, that's what makes you feel good. But if you're the type of person that goes, oh, can't be, as you said, can't be bothered going to the gym today, stuff like that, a program, something to follow is key, because it makes you go to the gym. It gives you a reason to go to the gym, a reason to actually turn up.
It's people who like obviously have coaches and stuff. That's what they're there for, because like, as I say, a lot of the time, like, people can't be bothered and people haven't got the mental focus to stick to something. Whereas if you're accountable to a coach and you're turning up, as you said, everybody is different, but everybody will benefit from training or feeling good. Like, training, and it doesn't have to mean that you're banging weights around in the gym. It could be, right, when I finish work tonight, I'm going for a 30-minute walk with a podcast on, or going to listen to music, or I'm just going to walk. That's movement. You're improving your mental state, you're improving your physical state at the same time, and you're pulling stress down in the body. So like, that's a win. Like, just moving, getting out. Like, I love walking, I love training, I love running, I love lifting weights, I love playing sport. I don't play as much sport now as I have done previously, but like, just a solid walk when you're in between clients, or like if you've got a gap or in your diary, or you've finished work and you think, you know what, I've had a tough day there, I'm anxious and I'm agitated, whatever, like, you get out and just move and get physical with something, you feel better, always.
Definitely. So we're just going to finish off with a light-hearted one. So we're going to quick fire, go from person to person. So Chris, what's your favourite Christmas song and Christmas movie? This is going to be controversial, this, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon it is, you know.
I reckon some people...
Christmas song that's tight between Step Into Christmas, Elton John, or Christmas Means to Me, Stevie Wonder. They're the two. The classics are the classics, aren't they? But they're two off the cuff, what most people might know. But they're up there for me. Christmas movies, a tough one. Got a few in mind now. Really like Christmas with the Cranks. That's like quite a modernish one. Yeah. That not many people rate, but I rate it. It's up there.
That is half funny, like.
It's great, isn't it?
I don't think I've actually seen it.
Well, yeah.
It's on Netflix now, so give it a watch.
Yeah, Christmas with the Cranks is epic. Obviously, you got the classics like the Home Alone and stuff. I don't like Home Alone half as much as what it's rated. Yeah. For Christmas films, even though it's up there. Yeah. Jingle All the Way, epic.
Do you reckon? I reckon it's overrated, you know.
No, I used to have Turbo Man when I was a kid.
Turbo Man,
sick.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
It is funny, like.
Jingle All the Way is epic.
Film.
What else? What have I touched on? Home Alone, Jingle All the Way, Christmas with the Cranks. The Grinch is a classic, innit?
Oh, that's a belter.
Jim Carrey's just the guy, innit? He plays a blinder, innit? Serious acting.
No,
the Grinch is up there.
Unbelievable acting.
So favourite?
Come on. This is it. No more saying anything
Movie.
else, just your favourite.
Favourite film? Favourite Christmas film?
Elf's got to be up there as well, though.
Elf. That was mine, to be fair.
It's hilarious.
Go on, you go first, because I need to.
So my movie's
ponder on
Elf.
it. Yeah.
Like, to be fair, it is.
It's epic.
It's epic.
Yeah.
You can't go better than Will Ferrell. It's like it's just unreal.
Yeah.
And then my song is a little bit of a mad one. It's Bruce Springsteen's song.
Yeah.
Christmas song. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I love Bruce Springsteen, so it's kind of like, I can't remember what it's called. I'm terrible with stuff like that. I'll find out.
Yeah, it's just a twist on the classic. Santa Claus is coming to town. Springsteen.
That's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Here we go. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Yeah.
But come
For
on,
me, it depends what mood I'm in, you know. Like, if I'm just chilled and I'm having like a beer or a glass of wine or something, I like a bit of Nat King Cole, me.
Oof.
Like, proper
Yeah, like the
classic.
old school.
Cole.
Sinatra, isn't it?
Yeah, like proper chill stuff. But then if I'm in like a bit of a like step into Christmas, or
Yeah, like a proper get
going
the
off,
jig
like,
on.
yeah. So I don't know. I like the Pogues, me, Fairy Tale of New York.
I just think it's overplayed.
So, yeah, but look, they are though, aren't they? But I like thingies as well. What's his name? Fell out the Beatles.
John
No, not John Lennon. No, what's his name?
Paul
Dunno.
McCartney.
Paul McCartney's. Yeah.
Name all the Beatles.
I was going to say.
Ringo Starr. Nah, yeah, Paul McCartney's. I think that's pretty sick.
What about the film then?
That's a tough one. You know, again, depends
Yeah,
on
I'm still pondering.
Christmas Eve. Me and Jessie like to watch The Holiday.
Yeah,
You know, like a little romantic one, a little glass of wine, a little The Holiday. But yeah, I love like the Grinch or Elf. It's like Polar Express as well, though.
Polar Express is quality.
Yeah.
Really good.
And I like the original Santa Claus. Do you know the one with Tim Allen?
Yeah, well, that was the other one that I was pondering, but I don't know whether it's my favourite. It's epic though.
It's proper nostalgic for me, like, because I was born when that was made, and I used to watch it every year as a kid. So like, it takes me back to my childhood watching it. So I do like that as well.
So come on, Chris. That's it now.
Favourite.
You've got no time. That's it.
It's going to be highly controversial.
Go for it.
I'm going to have to say Christmas with the Cranks.
It's a bold move, that, you know.
It is. That or Jingle All the Way is on par.
Oh, do you know what's good actually? National Lampoon's Christmas Adventure.
No,
It's heavy, you know.
No, I'm not having that.
It's funny that, you know. It is.
Right, on that note, I think we're going to finish it off.
I'm going to wrap it up and
Watch it,
was
lads.
he's uninvited on future episodes.
So never go down to Nathan's for Christmas. Bloody hell.
Yeah, so that's the festive Q&A.
That's a
wrapped
festive
up.
Q&A. I hope you have enjoyed it like we have.
Yeah.
We've had a few berries and that.
Yeah, with a few in here. So yeah, I hope everyone has a good Crimbo. Good
Merry
New Year.
Christmas.
And yeah, we look forward to seeing you in the Level Up 2023. Let's have it.
2023.
Get after it on Christmas Day.
Or don't.
No one cares.